Okay, so a lot of you guys have been in my DM saying, Keisha, can we please hear your take on the whole Chappell Roan drama? I know like it happened like a couple of days ago now at this point of me making this video, but hey, I'm here to give my thoughts and opinions. I've just been going through it. I've just been super duper. Have I been busy or am I lying? I haven't been busy, to be honest. I've just been going through it and I just haven't been wanting to film, but hey, we are here. Better late than never. So let me go ahead and give you guys a bit more backstory onto who Chappell Roan is, because I feel like some of you guys might not know her music maybe, but she definitely is popping. She's one of those artists who are like charting. She's making great music. She has a big fan base, but it seems as though even her fans are disappointed with a lot of her recent moves. So Chappell Roan, aka Kaylee Rose Amstutz, was born February 19th, 1988, currently making her 27 years old. Known professionally as Chappell Roan, is an American singer and songwriter. She's known for her camp and drag queen influenced aesthetic. Her debut EP, School Nights, came out in 2017. It was released by Atlantic Records. After its commercial failure, she was dropped from the label. Her debut studio album, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, came out in 2023. It was released through Island Records and received critical acclaim. The album garnered a cult following and became a sleeper hit. Roan rose to prominence in 2024 with the single Good Luck Babe, which reached number 4 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and became a global top 5 single. Wow. It was a catalyst for the success of her debut album, which eventually topped the charts in the UK, Ireland, and New Zealand, and reached number 2 on the US Billboard 200. Several album tracks subsequently entered various charts, including Hot to Go and Pink Pony Club, which both reached the top 5 in the UK. At the 67th Grammy Awards, Roan was nominated for all the Big Four awards, winning Best New Artist. So she definitely is a successful artist who is thriving and living her best life. But some of the things that she says, some of her actions, people just don't agree with, and a lot of people are just like, I need to take some steps back from her. I can love her music, but I just don't love her. A lot of people don't like when she speaks. A lot of people don't like when she has something to say. My thing is, you're not going to please everyone. Let's just start there, right? I don't know what you guys expect my take to be. I might surprise you. I don't know. But let's just have an honest conversation here for a second. Like, you're not going to please everyone, and that's something people need to start understanding. Not only if you're a celebrity, just as a person. Like, just live. Say what it is that you need to say. Obviously be mindful and think before you speak, and don't say things to like target people and like just be destructive for the sake of being destructive. But everyone's gonna have an opinion, right? People have an opinion that favors how they were brought up, their own experiences, and that's just it. It doesn't mean people can't change their minds. Of course they can, right? But a lot of people don't like when Chappell Roan speaks because they believe that she just comes across as quite aggressive. A lot of people are like, she's always complaining about being famous, and don't be famous, you know? And that's true. I think when it comes to the whole fame conversation, let's start there first. I do think that a lot of things are just dragged. A lot of things, it's like, girl, you know, there are plenty of celebrities who are famous and who are A-list celebrities who can handle certain things. And I get it, everyone has their own threshold, but I do think that maybe DM them, ask them like, hey, like, how do you handle this level of fame? The thing is, yeah, let me use the example of a Dua Lipa. I'm going to use Dua Lipa in today's example just because I love Dua Lipa. I watch her interviews and everything, and she's been around for quite some time now. And has done it all, I feel like, okay? Dua Lipa is able to, at least, we don't know what it is people are going through behind the scenes, I will say that, but she always looks refreshed. She always looks, you know, pleased to meet people. When she's on red carpet, she's smiling, she's posing, then she walks and gets into the venue, right? There was a time where Chappell Roan was kind of like arguing with the paparazzi? No, arguing with the photographer, and a lot of people were split with it. A lot of people were like, oh my god, why is she so aggressive? She needs to calm down. Like, if she doesn't want to be famous, don't be famous, but that's not how you communicate with somebody else. And then you got other people saying like, no, that photographer deserved it, like that they had that coming to them. For me, I just kind of feel as though I like someone who can stick up for themselves. I don't think sticking up for yourself needs to equate to aggression or you being loud about it. I do think you can stick up for yourself in a way that's not quote unquote aggressive, I guess. And again, that's the word people have been using to speak about Chappell Roan. But in that situation, I kind of saw it as like, you know what, paparazzis, photographers do take the piss. They want the winning shot so that they can go and make their shitcoin from it. But I don't think that's fair in that same breath. I do think a lot of photographers treat people like absolute crap, and they say anything just again for the sake of getting the perfect shot. But it's like, no, it's all about respect. So when it came to that, I was kind of like, you know what, love that for her. I love someone who can stand up for themselves, because I bet a lot of celebrities in their head are thinking, these people, if I could kill them, bitch, I will kill them, because what they're asking me to do right now as I'm posing is flipping annoying. That's what a lot of people are thinking. But Chappell Roan decided to take action into doing it. She didn't like physically touch the guy or anything. She was just verbalizing. And for me, I don't feel like that was necessarily wrong, okay? And then it became a thing where, you know, she started to talk more and more about fame and like how fans can get and all of these things. And my thing is, babes, before you, there was someone else. As in, you probably studied you probably have your faves, you know. A lot of people say that she looks up to Lady Gaga. I don't know whether she's actually verbally said that, because I don't, like, I've listened to a couple of her songs and I think she makes really good music. I see why, like, it's charting. I think she's great at what it is that she does. I like her aesthetic. She has something going for her, right? And also, I didn't know that she was 27. Like, I generally thought that we were the same age. I thought she was like 24, but either way, she's 27, right? I do think it comes to a point where the nagging and complaining can just feel like too much. Look, Chappell Roan is not the only artist to complain about fame and what the industry entails and how exhausting it is for her being a musician, and how she doesn't like this aspect of fame. That's fine. A lot of people don't like certain aspects of fame, and some people are like, you know what, I can suck it up. I can get behind this. An example would be a Dua Lipa. I don't know what it is that Dua Lipa goes through, but I do know that, look, Dua Lipa is, like, if you saw her out on the street, you would know it's a Dua Lipa. Like, you can easily, you know, notice that. Of course, she has days where she doesn't want to meet fans, and there's actually a video where I think she was eating with her family, and then, like, a fan came up, and she was like, no, not now. And that was her boundary. She set that boundary, but she did it in a way where it was respectful. Like, obviously, if you're the person that wants to go up to her for a photo, then you're probably like, ouch, like, damn. But I hope that you also wouldn't take that as, like, her being rude, but just seeing it as a boundary, because at the end of the day, while she's a celebrity and she is known, she's also a human being too. But Dua Lipa did it in a way that was very, very respectful. But any other time, I haven't heard anyone say that like Dua Lipa turned them down. Dua Lipa in her interviews articulates herself very well. Sorry. I think that she seems, even if Dua Lipa doesn't have like this huge like hyper energy, but it's just a thing where it's like the things that she says, you can tell that she's articulate, she's educated, and she's willing to have these conversations, right? Certain artists are just there for the sake of promoting, and that's just what it feels like, okay? So when it's time to talk about the nitty-gritty things or have opinions on certain things, it's just like, did you really just say that? Because a lot of people are also out of touch, which I think Chappell Roan, I always want to say Chappell when it's Chappell. I think Chappell Roan is out of touch. And I think that based on her circumstances and based on the things that she's now experiencing, because she's not in that place of, you know, maybe trying to make ends meet or try on the come up, she's where she was always wanted to be, because she's charting, she is a millionaire. Like, the circumstances have changed now, right? So she definitely is out of touch. She definitely is out of touch, whether she likes it or not. She can try and say that, you know, I'm just like the rest of you guys. She hasn't said that, by the way, but like, you know, celebrities do the whole thing where it's like, I'm just like you guys, like it's like, no, you're not. Circumstances have changed and you're just not that anymore, and that's good. Love that for you, right? But like, I do think a lot of celebrities are definitely out of touch. For sure. Okay. And they don't realize it themselves. But when they come out to say certain things, like, whoa, whoa. Whoa. And an example of this is when she was talking about children. She was talking about kids and talking about mothers. I'm going to actually pull up the exact thing that she said. I have my thoughts and opinions on it. So, I mean, duh. It's literally a commentary channel. So let's go ahead and pull up what it is that she had to say.
All of my friends who have kids are in hell. I actually don't know anyone who's, like, happy and has children at this age. I have, like a 1-year-old, like 3-year-old, 4 and under, 5 and under. I literally have not met anyone who's happy, anyone who has, like, light in their eyes, anyone who has slept.
So that's what it is that she had to say when it came to that situation. Now, she did actually preface by saying her age is 27. There are plenty of people who give birth at the age of 27, even people who've given birth younger than 27, right? And she's saying that she thinks that, like, a lot of them are not happy. I don't think that's a fair statement to make. Okay, so it's important to start off by noting that she is trying to preface mainly her friends here and based on people that she's come across. But I don't think it's entirely accurate for people in general, but again, she's talking about people that she's come across. Now, if that was me personally, I would not tell Chappell Roan anything, because whilst you feel like you're confiding in her and that she's going to keep your, not secret, but she's going to keep this conversation to herself, she's not. She's literally gone into a podcast where there's millions of listeners per episode and just didn't think that through. Maybe her friends are okay with it, but for me, I'd feel like, ouch, is that like what you really think? Whilst I may be stressing that to you, I don't know, something's just a little bit off about that personally, okay? But that's between herself and her friends. But again, she is prefacing that she's talking about people her age and talking about her friends specifically. But if we're talking about 27-year-olds or even people younger than that, just in general, if we're talking about mums in general, I don't think that's entirely true. And also, if we talk about the stresses of being a new mother, not that I'm a mother, but I do think a lot of the stresses is not having the child. I think she kind of made it seem like the issue was having the child. She could have further explained it by saying, you know, Like, obviously having a child is stressful. You're bringing a baby to this world where you're trying to still figure out things for yourself. You're still trying to make sense of this world and what's in store for you. But then having a baby as well, it's like another added level of pressure to, you know, be the best mother you can possibly be for that child. That's one stress already. Number two, finances. Some people are better equipped, I feel like, financially to take care of a child as opposed to other people. But a lot of people who can't, like, technically just buy every and anything they need for their child, including like milk bottles, or including like, you know, nappies, including clothes, all these things. And that's just a few examples. Like, that's where the stresses come from. And I think I wish that she kind of like tapped more into that, as opposed to like, nobody that I know is actually happy having kids. And it's like, that's a crazy statement. Like, my thing is, yeah, have your opinion, but there's just certain things that you should just know is going to be seen as quite intense. And I don't think Chappell Roan needs that. But I think the fact that she still taps into these things, it's like, yes, she's being herself, because at the end of the day, she's not faking it or trying to give like a PR answer. But also, I do think Alice Cooper, aka the Call Her Daddy, like Daddy Gang, so cringe. So cringe. And this is going to sound so shady. Take it how you want to take it, but Spotify really gives anyone deals. Spotify literally backs people, and I'm just like, these podcasts are not like, what are you offering to the conversation? And the thing is, it's not like she's even asking great questions here. She's just agreeing with everything, or just laughing half the time, or saying Daddy Gang. And it's like, Alex, where is the journalism? Where is the journalism? Get your degree in it. You don't even have to have your degree in it. Like, just, sometimes it's just common sense. Sometimes it generally is just common sense. I don't have a degree in journalism, whatever, but I bet you I could know a couple questions to ask a lot of these guests. Now, some of the questions that she asks, yes, it's entertaining, it's great, but even the way that she gets about asking these questions, sometimes it's just like, girl, what? Like, huh? Like, are you just in these people's houses? Do you guys just like meet at a set and you don't have any questions pre-planned? Or even if you did have the questions pre-planned, it's like, no one proofread it or checked and thought, girl, what? Because this is the opportunity. You have like, what, an hour with these celebrities. Ask them the questions. I don't know what it is with podcasts, interviews. It's so... I'm just going to stop there. I'm going to stop there because I know what I'm like. But yeah, when it came to the whole conversation of kids, I wish that she further explored, you know, how hard it is being a mother. Sure, duh. I guess she was talking about her friends, but then she said that she's never come across someone who's actually, like, that to me was a bit unfair and a bit like, girl, now let's be so for real. The reason why mothers, I believe, are finding it hard is, yes, it's challenging being a mother, but also in terms of expenses too. You know, when you give birth to a child, the world isn't automatically going to say like, oh my God, you are a new mother now, so you're going to have all these things handed to you. There's something else that she spoke about, which a lot of people just simply weren't happy about.
Ever get moments like that of anonymity where you get to like feel like people actually don't know who you are anymore?
I think people are scared of me.
Really?
I think I made a big enough deal about not talking to me that people do not talk to me.
I think so too. I don't think a lot of people, like, as much as people can be fans of Chappell Roan, I think they just don't want to try her. Chappell Roan definitely does stick up for herself. That's great, and I think everyone should have that quality about them. But I do also think Chappell Roan sometimes just goes on and harps on about something in a way where it's like, girl, if you don't want to be famous, don't be famous. I promise you. Like, if you don't want to be famous, there's a way you can go about it. I mean, look, it's probably too late now. You know, like, you're Chappell Roan. People can easily distinguish you from your hair color alone, from the way that you dress, look, speak, all these things, right? But like, there's so many famous people who are famous, like an Adele. They'll do their thing and then they'll dip out. Now, can Adele afford to do that because she's been in the game for such a long time? But even when she wasn't here for like a long time, she was still doing that same tactic. So it's like, find something that works for you and stick to it.
Been with people like friends who are like artists. When they're with me, they're like, it's a force field around us. People don't come up to me if I'm with you.
Do you love it that you said it?
I know it really hurts people because they take it really, they feel like it's me disrespecting them, that I owe it to them, and that how dare I call it abuse, or complaining about success. I get that a lot, but I'm not complaining about success. I'm just complaining about creepy behavior.
She complains about creepy behavior. Fair. And I think that she is trying to let it be known that, yes, I'm a celebrity, but I don't want this and that done. But the thing is, Chappell Roan, what you have to understand is, it's just unfortunately not going to change until everyone collectively comes together to install some sort of change. But like, is that really going to happen anytime soon? At least no. So right now, people just see it as like, okay, you're just nagging for the sake of nagging, when you have other people like Kim Kardashian is constantly getting bombarded and berated every single day, and she's not here complaining about it. That's what people are going to now do. People are going to now compare you to someone else.
Love, like, admiration. Everyone loves admiration. Like,
Yep.
I just don't want you to, like, interrupt me at, like, when I'm having a fight with my girlfriend. Like, don't fucking be like, can I get a photo? When I'm crying.
I agree with that.
Crying.
So let's go ahead and talk about this other moment.
How can these girls tour, write, perform, interview, sleep, eat, and fucking work out, and like how can they do it all and lead a team and be a boss and pay people and like and be like fucking so politically educated? It's
exhausting.
and it's also impossible. Also, why the fuck are you looking to me for some political answer? You think I have the fucking answer?
But you're like, listen to my song, bitch. Turn.
All right, there's just so many things we need to go ahead and talk about. This will be the closing clip for sure. Alex Cooper, girl, there's plenty of other journalists who would be fighting to sit in that seat right now and ask better things and provide some sort of substance when it comes to these conversations. All she does is literally just agree or swears. That's literally Alex Cooper to a T. Also, my nose piercing is doing that annoying thing. It does come across as quite aggressive. And I think people are scared to use that word. I mean, they're not scared to use it on black people. Let's just be so for real. But I do think it does it comes across as quite harsh and aggressive for no reason. She hates certain parts of the industry, but what Chappell Roan has to understand is that is just a part of it. And again, it's not going to change until people collectively do something about it. But because nothing has been done and we are in 2025, girly pop, you just have to find a way to adapt. The same way an Adele can go hiding and then come out when she wants to, bitch, you can figure that out for you. Right? Now, of course, you are Chappell Roan. You are very relevant and hot right now. So you have to, be everywhere. I understand that. But you can find a formula that works for you. I know you are under a label. You are signed. But it's not everything you have to do. There's plenty of artists who are even like newer artists who don't want to sign on to do every single goddamn show or performance. They need time for themselves. And I think that is the key when it comes to pop stars. You need to be able to have the work-life balance, and that is where things go left when there is no balance whatsoever. But I feel as though a Chappell Roan can probably say, you know what? I'm gonna sit this one out. I don't want to perform here. Like, I will happily go to this award show, but I don't want to perform. You know, I'm good. Maybe next time. I think a lot of people start saying no to certain things the way that, again, an Adele would do that. But I also do think there needs to be better etiquette when it comes to interviews and podcasts. You know, I think it is bizarre that you will have an Alex Cooper who's like daddy gang and like swearing 24/7. It's like, what do we take from this interview then? Because then, like, I get it, you don't want it to feel like an interview, you want it to be more like a chit chat style, but there's just something a little bit annoying about Alex Cooper, and I know I'm not the only one who feels that. So it is nice to know that, because sometimes you think to yourself, like, am I just hating for the sake of hating? Like, do I actually have a reason to hate or dislike, shall we say? But to know that other people feel the same way too. Oh, I know Chappell Roan's PR team were probably going insane once this interview came out. They were probably shookety shook, gobsmacked, if you must. You know, but they've got to do what they've got to do on their end. They've got to clean this up. Or try to, at least. But then again, once the video is out, the video is out. I think Chappell Roan just needs to, like, namaste and breathe, right? I think that just switch your schedule around a little bit. I know it's going to be hard, and I know that you're going to let down people by doing that. But at the end of the day, babes, with the way that you are constantly going at it on social media and letting us know exactly how you feel, please do let your team know this. But of course, she probably is letting her team know this, and there's nothing that they can really do, because the industry are going to literally do everything and anything they can to milk off of you and to leech off of you. So I don't know, it's like a double-edged sword when it comes to that, but I just feel as though it does come across as quite harsh. And I feel as though if it was a black woman, and I'm just gonna go there because, hey, it makes sense to, even if I wasn't black, I feel like it is just a fact. When we use the term aggression, we typically use it to, well, not we, because I've got common sense and I'm not ignorant, but a lot of people use it towards black people, black women specifically. They'll be like, oh my gosh, she's just too loud. Why is she always going on about harping on about the same thing? She's too aggressive. Oh my God, calm down. And I feel as though I'm quite surprised to see people actually saying that about Chappell Roan, because I feel like a lot of people do the whole thing of like, oh my God, but she's white. She, you know, she's just expressing herself. You know, she's just a little bit sassy. Okay, but people are calling out. People are saying, no, this is weird that she's constantly harping on about the same thing. Bro, chill. That's basically what people are trying to say. Because you sound like somebody who clearly has your boundaries, which I think is great, by the way. I'm not saying that you shouldn't put your foot down when necessary. I think it's very important. And I think that's a quality a lot of people don't do, right? So when they see someone else doing that, they're kind of like, whoa, this is extreme. Whereas like, yes, certain ways that she says it does feel very extreme, but I do think it's very important to have your boundaries and stick to them, of course, but tell your team that and not come to us. And it just feels very repetitive, and it feels as though, okay, so what is going to please you? Like, what is going to make you happy? So like, what is it that you want? Because you can't have your cake and eat it when it comes to being famous. Like, that is the goal and that would be ideal, but no one really has that at all. I mean, some people do, but then again, some people do, like an Adele. Adele really can just go ghost and come back out like, hey bitches, I've got a new album coming out. Eek! Pre-order here.
Like, I'm a pop star. I wish I had the answers. I wish the president was a pop star, but she's not.
But Chappell Roan, you've also been an advocate for certain things in the past. So that's why people, I guess, would expect you to speak on certain things because you came out speaking on these things. So why is it that things have now changed? Is it because of your circumstances? Is it because you feel as though, hey, I don't want to align with these things anymore because I've made it? I've made it. I don't really feel anger towards these people anymore. I don't really care. Is that what it is? She used to speak up on things that would happen in the queer community, and now it's just like, when you've just come to the internet doing that, of course people are going to start thinking, especially when people approve of your message, they're going to start aligning you with that. And then anything else that happens in the world, you know what humans are like. They're going to be coming back to you like, okay, so what does Chappell think about it? Is it right? No. And I do think people should shift their focus a little bit into forming their own opinions, because a lot of people don't even know what they think about it fully, right? But like, Chappell Roan is acting like, oh, she's never spoken about anything political before, anything that affects people in the world. She's just acting like she's just come on the internet to promote music and dip. When it's like, no, you literally would take your phone and record, or would hop into interviews and express how you felt. And a lot of people love that about you. You can't make it seem like, oh, people are just like waiting for you to speak on certain things. I mean, there is truth to that. I think people do that a lot, and I feel like people don't keep the same energy for athletes. Chappell Roan is privileged. She is privileged, and I get it. You can feel like it's stressful working out, looking cute, going to the studio, eating, right? I understand. Your day can get jam-packed. A lot of people see that as like, oh my God, you are blessed. This is a blessing. You have, income constantly coming in. You have this lifestyle where you can afford a personal trainer, you can do this, you can do that. Girl, what do you think everyone else is doing? Like, what about everyone else who's like trying to afford the gym membership and trying to do this and do that and balance college and balance a job as well at the same time? It does come across as quite out of touch. Now, I don't know whether it's intentional or not, but girl, that's just what it is. Right now, Chappell Roan is just out of touch. She can't relate to certain things that maybe she could relate to a year ago, a couple months ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Things have changed for her. And I think that's something that she hasn't actually grasped just yet. All right, guys, that pretty much concludes today's video when it comes to Chappell Roan. I would love to know your thoughts and opinions when it comes to these conversations. And like, do you think she's coming across as quite ungrateful? Do you think it's done deliberately? I don't think anyone's trying to, willfully have the internet dislike them, but I've seen so much discourse around it on TikTok specifically, and I've seen so many clips, and I'm like, wow, I kind of relate with, I can definitely resonate with that take.
I think Chappell Roan has found herself between a rock and a hard place by going on Call Her Daddy and start complaining about politics and why people are looking to you for the political answer, when you have spent the past year, a great deal of that year, setting that bar for yourself. It's ludicrous to me that you would insinuate because of your job, because you're a pop star, you can't maintain being politically informed, when there are people working just as hard as you, doing a 9-to-5, that know what they're about and know what they believe and know what's going on. Yeah, you should probably not be the person a young, impressionable audience look to for politics. I completely agree with you. You shouldn't be. But people do because of because of how you've been.
She should probably involve herself in a lot more of the media training, not to completely change you, but just to like think before you speak, because a lot of people, you're going to rub off a lot of people the wrong way. You just are, especially when it comes to politics, to make it seem like, oh my God, like, why do people care that pop stars do, like, I've got this going on, I've got this going on. It's like, girl, what? A regular schmegular person is, listening to politics, taking on board what's going on in the country, but also in the world. You've got people balancing the whole work life, gym life as well, being a mother as well. Like, a lot of it just comes across as like, oh my God, I'm doing so much and nobody else is doing it. It's like, bro, look around you. In fact, maybe don't look around you. Maybe just like take several steps back and think about, okay, so when my life was like this, what was my environment like? What were people around me like? It was stressful. It's havoc. It's a lot. And again, being a pop star, I'm sure it's freaking hard. I'm sure it has its negatives where you feel stressed and you feel burnt out. That's fine. But I do think it just comes across as very out of touch, okay? But let me know your thoughts and opinions, guys, down below in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys real soon for a brand new video. Bye.